Good morning students, this is the part 4 of redox chapter, class 11th chemistry. So in the previous video I have discussed about the disproportionate reaction or the oxidation number, that how you will calculate it. And there's one example. If I solve it like chromium oxide, if I say calculate the oxidation state of the chromium, then it will come out to be plus 10. Fine. But the thing is that whether the plus 10 of the oxidation state of chromium is possible or not. So if you look at the electronic configuration of chromium, it is 3d54s1, and you can see it has valence 6 electrons. So if it is having valence 6 electrons, so oxidation state is cannot be more than plus 6, but here it is showing the plus 10. So in this type of examples, you cannot consider that oxidation number method, means that simple method which we have, I have told you in the earlier videos. So here you have to calculate the oxidation state by opening its structure. So ऐसे examples जिनके अंदर oxidation state उनकी valence से extend हो जाए, तो वहाँ पे आप simple method से x की value put करके oxidation state नहीं निकाल सकते. There you have to open the structure of that compound. Fine. So it is the paradox of fractional oxidation number. Now sometimes we come across with certain compounds in which the oxidation number of particular element is in fraction. And examples are like C3O2, where oxidation number of carbon is 4/3, Br3O8, where the oxidation number of bromine is 16/3, Na2S4O6, oxidation number of sulfur is 2.5. And sometimes some compounds are also there जहाँ पे oxidation state you can see it is greater than its valency. Fine. So here I am discussing about the paradox of fractional oxidation number. Then I will come on to that compounds also where the oxidation number of the element exceeds from its valency. Fine. So now we know that the idea of fractional oxidation number is unconvincing to us, because obviously electrons cannot be transferred in a fraction or in points. So it is very much unconvincing to us because electrons are never shared or transferred in fraction. Actually, this fractional oxidation state is the average oxidation number of the element under examination, and the structural parameters reveal that the element for whom fractional oxidation state is realized is present in different oxidation states, and structure of the species are revealed following bonding situations. तो देखो, जो हम यहाँ पे oxidation state निकाली हमने, जो भी प्लस माइनस करके x की वैल्यू पुट करके, दैट इज़ द एवरेज. सो एवरेज से अगर पॉइंट में आ रही है तो इसका मतलब ये है कि जो 3 कार्बन या जो 3 ब्रोमीन या जो 4 सल्फर हमारे प्रेजेंट है, ये एक्चुअल में सेम नहीं है, दे आर डिफरेंट. तो जब आप इनके स्ट्रक्चर्स ओपन करेंगे, देन यू विल कम टू नो अबाउट द एक्चुअल पोजीशन और एक्चुअल स्टेट ऑफ दैट कार्बन्स, ब्रोमीन एंड द सल्फर्स इन द स्ट्रक्चर. फाइन. सो फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ यू सी द एग्जांपल ऑफ B3O8 विच इज़ द ट्राइब्रोमो ऑक्टाऑक्साइड. सो इसका स्ट्रक्चर आप खोलें तो इसका इस तरीके से खुलेगा. हेयर ब्रोमीन इज हैविंग 3 डबल बॉन्ड एंड हेयर 2 डबल बॉन्ड विद ऑक्सीजन. Now if you see one oxide which is -2 and -2, total will be the -6. To cancel this -6, this bromine is having the +6 oxidation state. Now this bromine, don't count the bromine bond, only the oxygen. This is -2, this is -2, total -4, so it is having the +4 oxidation state. Here bromine agar -2, other again bromine -2, that is -6, so it is having the +6. And if you add all these oxidation states, it will give you the 0. The compound is whole neutral. Fine. So in this way you can calculate the oxidation states of bromine. So you have to open the structure for that. This is the tribromo octoxide. Now the next, that is carbon suboxide. This is the structure of carbon suboxide. So how we will open it? C3O2, C double bond C, double bond C, double bond O, double bond O. This is the carbon suboxide. Now how you will calculate the oxidation state of carbon? Here carbon is forming bond with the carbon, so here oxidation state will be 0 only. Fine. And here the carbon is forming with the carbon. This you will not count the oxidation state of this carbon, and because it is 0 only, if you will count it, it will contribute 0. And here it is oxygen oxide, so -2, so this carbon will show the +2 oxidation state. Air oxide -2, so this carbon will show the +2 oxidation state. So +2 are the oxidation states of the carbon in the C3O2, and middle carbon will show the 0 oxidation state because it is forming bond with itself only. No electronegative difference, so no charge. This structure next, S4O6O2 tetrathionate ion. So this structure is like this, and you can see here sulfur bond is forming with sulfur. So जहाँ sulfur के साथ bond है, वहाँ ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट आपकी 0 हो गई. अब यहाँ सल्फर को देखें तो ये एक सल्फर के साथ है, तो ये सल्फर 0 कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है. 3 ऑक्सीजन आर देयर, दिस इज -2 एंड हियर -1, so total is -5. तो सल्फर इज शोइंग द +5 ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट. सिमिलरली इज द टर्मिनल सल्फर -2 and this is -1, so total is the -5. So this sulfur again is showing the +5 oxidation state. So in this way you will calculate the oxidation state by opening their structure. Now the element marked with asterisk in each species is exhibiting the different oxidation state from rest of the atoms of the same element in each of these species. This reveals that C3O2, the 2 carbon atoms are present in +2 oxidation state each, whereas the third one is present in 0 oxidation state, and average is the 4/3. However, the realistic picture is +2 for the 2 terminal carbon and 0 for the middle carbon. Likewise, in B3O8, each of the 2 terminal bromine atoms are present in +6 oxidation state and +4 oxidation state. The middle bromine is present in +4 oxidation state. Once again, the average that is different from the reality is 16/3. In the same fashion, in the species S4O62 negative, each of the 2 extreme sulfurs exhibit oxidation state of +5 and the 2 middle sulfurs having the oxidation state 0. So average of 4 oxidation numbers of sulfur of tetrathionate ion is 2.5, whereas the reality being +5, 0, 0, +5 oxidation number respectively for each sulfur. So we may thus in general conclude that the idea of fractional oxidation state should be taken with care and the reality is revealed by these structures only. Further, whenever we come across with the fractional oxidation state of any particular element in any species, we must understand that this is the average oxidation number only, and in reality the element in that particular species is present in more than one whole number oxidation state. For example, Fe3O4 and the Mn3O4, Pb3O4, they are the some other examples of the compounds which are the mixed oxides where we come across the fractional oxidation states of the metal. However, the oxidation states may be in fraction as in O2 positive, O2 negative, and it is +half, -half respectively. So हो सकती है फ्रैक्शन में, जैसे सुपर ऑक्साइड और O2 पॉजिटिव की बात कर रहा है यहाँ पॉसिबल है, बट अगर मिक्स ऑक्साइड की बात कर रहा है तो यहाँ पे Fe3O4 की आयरन की ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट निकालेंगे तो फ्रैक्शन में आएगी, बट एक्चुअल में इट इज़ अ मिक्स्ड ऑक्साइड, इट इज़ FeO.Fe2O3. सो हियर Fe इज़ इन दी +2 form and here Fe3 is in the +3 form, so it is a mixed oxide. Fine. Similarly, Mn3O4 and the Pb3O4. Fine. And one more example. Let's do the one example. But before going through this example, I'm going to discuss about the structure of CrO5. So the structure is like this. And in chromium, see, this is the peroxide linkages. Because oxygen bond is there, so these linkages are the peroxide linkages, and in peroxide oxygen share the -1 charge, -1, and this is the -2 charge. Fine. If I draw again like this, so -1, -1, -1, -1, and this is oxide -2, total -6 charges there. So here chromium is having the +6 oxidation state, not +10, it is +6. So you have to open the structure where you find fractional oxidation number or the oxidation state which is more than its valency. Now the problem, it is saying 8.7, why do the following reactions proceed differently? So lead oxide है, ये mixed oxide है Pb3O4 reacting with the HCl giving you lead chloride, chlorine gas in the water, and when this mixed oxide react with the nitric acid, it is giving you lead nitrate, lead oxide in the water. So दोनों reactions अलग तरीके से क्यों हो रही हैं? So it is saying Pb3O4 is actually a stoichiometric mixture of 2 mole of PbO and 1 mole of PbO2, यानी कि ये इस तरीके से बनता है. This is actually the Pb3O4, 2 PbO and the 1 PbO2, and lead is the present in +4 oxidation state, whereas stable oxidation state of lead is +2. अब यहाँ पे lead +4 oxidation state में है, यहाँ पे lead +2 में है, and +4 is not stable but +2 is stable. And PbO2 thus can act as an oxidant and or the oxidizing agent, therefore can oxidize chloride ion of HCl into chlorine. So it is act as an oxidant, और ये क्या करेगा, क्लोराइड आयन को क्लोरीन में जो है क्या कर देगा, ये ऑक्सीडाइज कर देगा. वी मे ऑल्सो कीप इन माइंड दैट PbO इज़ ए बेसिक ऑक्साइड, और अब ये PbO एक बेसिक ऑक्साइड है. सो बेसिक ऑक्साइड होने के लिए तो द रिएक्शन इस तरीके से होगी. आप देखें Pb3O4 रिएक्टिंग विद द HCl, इट इज़ गिविंग यू द PbCl2 ऑल्सो. Fine, because this is a base reacting with the acid, and similarly your PbO is acting as a basic oxide reacting with the acid, and your PbO2, what it is doing, it is acting as an oxidizing agent, it is oxidizing the chloride ion into the chlorine gas, and it can be split into 2 reactions, namely like PbO plus HCl giving you PbCl2 plus water, acid base reaction, and second is the PbO2 plus 4HCl giving you PbCl2 plus chloride plus water, that is the redox reaction. So since HNO3 itself is an oxidizing agent, अब HNO3 की बात करें तो खुद ये oxidizing agent है, So it is unlikely that reaction may occur between PbO2 and the HNO3, because your PbO2 is an oxidizing agent, your HNO3 is an oxidizing agent, so both are the oxidizing agent, तो दोनों में कोई reaction नहीं होगी. However, the acid base reaction will occur between the PbO and the HNO3. So that is why your PbO reacts with the HNO3 and gives you lead nitrate in the water. So it is the passive nature of PbO2 against HNO3 that makes the reaction different from the one that follows with HCl. So this is the reason.